What's up, guys? Welcome back to Best of the Best MLG Classics. We're trying to find out which is the best StarCraft 2 game in MLG's history. We've seen 10 games so far today, 10 amazing games. If you missed any of it, a lot of them are already on YouTube. And, well, actually, all of them are on YouTube. You should search for them. But rebroadcasts will be happening. So stay tuned to twitch.tv/MLGSC2 all the time. That being said, coming up next, we got Idra versus MMA versus Cats versus Dragon Context. Okay, Idra versus MMA. This is from 2011 MLG Columbus. And both of these guys were in pool play. MMA was in pool B, Idra in pool C. MMA went 5-0 against July, Sheth, Sho, Kiwikaki, and Moonin. Not bad. Idra went 4-1 against MC, Rhett, Thorzane, Tyler, and Select. His one loss was to Thorzane. And now Idra and MMA, having won their groups, meet in the upper bracket, championship bracket, round something, semifinals. MMA versus Idra. And again, this is another one of those games where you're going to be watching it. It's on test bug. I mean, give little hints about what happens. You're going to be watching it. You're going to see buildings built everywhere. You're going to see, oh gosh, the GIF at the end of this. Just watch DJ Weed at the end. It's like my favorite moment in MLG history. And should I hype it up anymore? I mean, it's just, I just want y'all to watch this. It's Idra versus MMA. It's on test bug. Check it out.
Stands here in the championship bracket, and this is going to be a great matchup here on test bug.
Getting started. Has the aesthetically pleasing triple division. Will Idra spawn in the top left, the high value property? No, it looks like. All right, now it's time to do a little bit of cheering, try to get a rooting for your favorite player. If you're a fan of EG Idra in the crowd, make some noise for Idra! And in the top position in the fertile green lands, we have the Terran player coming all the way out from Seoul, South Korea. It is MMA!
Man, day 9, this is kind of one of those matchups, you know, we started off this competition broadcasting Idra versus MC. No better way to open up the competition. And we did see Idra win that one, automatically putting his foot forward as a foreigner who can contend with the Koreans. We saw several other players also present themselves in such a fashion throughout the competition. But again, I do reference back to the fact that Idra was getting ready for Bomber, and upon hearing that is multitasking on those drops, it is really... It's a nice place for a Rax there, Day 9.
Always love this off-Rax placement. This is what I like to call hiding something normal. A lot of times when you're trying to do something funny or tricky, you will hide it in your base, but we're going to see MMA just build a barracks, go straight into constructing a gas geyser, but if Idra ends up scouting, Idra may very well miss this barracks, overcompensate for some sort of cheese, when in reality, MMA is doing nothing out of the ordinary. Regardless, we're seeing Idra plant that expansion hatchery down, and is going to continue to add drones as well, very boldly, knowing that he can hold off a bunker rush if he has good enough control.
Yeah, no drone scout going out quite yet. Pool is about to be dropped, and there it is. Over on MMA's side, he is going to float that Rax down to the low ground, and I wonder if he's going to build another one. We'll have to see. No, the SCV is going to go ahead and go over, so it could just be some light. We have another SCV moving down right now, and he is going to go ahead and wall up. So the SCV is going to meet up with this drone here, and let's see what sort of scouting and what reaction Idra will have when he realizes what is happening here. He is going to go ahead and just go right past that, and you know, I mean, no reason really to look up there until he moves up and sees that there is no barracks inside of his main.
Idra now pulling off 6 drones, very meticulous about having these exact numbers of workers pulled off. And there's the first Marine from MMA, and Idra gets an unbelievable first few hits off on that one Marine. It will go down to the claws of the drones. And Idra building a spine crawler. This is a little bit of that overcompensation. Did he end up seeing this? Yes, he does see a factory, so he might very well just delay his gas geyser for quite some time, maybe not mining as much. We see 2 guys in the gas. In the meantime, is going to let that spine crawler get canceled and going to continue on as normal. Oh. Not a big deal.
Not a big deal. The SCV was killed by the drones. There you see the cancellation. We have mining now at the natural. Meanwhile, over in MMA's base, that factory does go down, almost completed. He's also getting his command center. The one gas is up right now, and the barracks has been floated right back up into the main. And, you know, it was a reasonable thing to just leave that right there, make it on the low ground. If the aggression was able to continue, he could produce more Marines, but bringing it back up to safety. Now we have the starport going down as well. Some Lings will make their way forward, but these Marines on the high ground, and already you can see that MMA obviously putting some time and effort into this map. Some great placement there by the Marines. They do get some early hits on the Lings before they even hit that ramp, and now we do have our first Hellion out on the field.
We're not seeing any gas getting mined from Idra. There's the Hellion out on the field right now, but with that spine crawler up, it will be easily repelled. Now it looks like MMA is advancing forward. A real problem with Hellions on this map is that you can't control any watchtowers because of those destructible rocks. Those early techniques that work on other maps, not so effective on Icy Cup Test Bug. So it looks like a Banshee now popping up from MMA. Is he getting cloaked? No, actually doesn't even have a second gas geyser, but is now getting that orbital command, that expansion up. Idra taking a second gas geyser and has just begun his route to Lair.
Yeah, Lair will be going soon, and Speed will be finishing very, very soon here for Idra, continuing to drone up. No unnecessary units other than the 4 Lings that he brought out for the stoppage of that little bunker rush that we saw from MMA right off of the bat. And another command center going down for MMA inside the main. He's also going to throw down a few extra racks and is getting a reactor on his factory. He's going to be making a switch here with the racks and the starport to get that tech lab going for those upgrades. Another peek here by Idra. Those 2 Marines will stop it.
We do see the Banshee now moving out to try to do a little bit of damage to Idra. A real big danger, though, is that I don't like this 3 command center play. We're going to come back to that in just a moment. For now, it looks like MMA is going to start doing a little bit of damage to those drones. Looks like he has picked off 2, but Idra has some queens well positioned, will do some damage. We saw MMA take out a lot of Sheth's queens. Can he do the same in this match? Does Idra have that second queen coming? No, there's no adjoining. Great, he will lose the queen and now has to pull back all the drones. Finally, Idra gets that second queen up. MMA, has lost focus on the Banshee, and it will escape, though.
Yeah, it narrowly escapes there. It only has 14 hit points left, and something that we saw out of MMA is he did not like to excessively waste these types of units. He will bring it back, repair it up, and get it back on the field. Now, you were going to come back to the command center, so let's do that.
Third command center, very good way to get a lot of early economy boost, to get a stronger mid game. You have a ton of mules, but the reason I'm a little worried about that is generally you want to do this play on a map where you have an easy third base to take, a map like Tal'Darim Altar, a map like Shakura's Plateau. But on this map, your third is very far away, very difficult to defend, so that command center can't be useful for a very long time other than just for those mules.
Now we do have Baneling Speed on the way. The Spire's going to be completing soon. I think we're going to be seeing a third very, very soon here. We have a Viking out on the map as well. He is going to snipe off at least 1 Overlord, possibly a second as well. And look at the placement of that Viking. Once again, MMA showing that he has studied and put a little bit of effort into this map, checking things out. That Viking will continue to patrol around, and look at this fully healed Banshee coming back into the base, going to continue this. Now, he did make a second queen while that first one did go down for the defense, but he's going to be faced with this yet again, and this queen will go down. Is the second on the way?
Oh, it looks like MMA does manage to take out another queen and again escapes with his life, just eating into that production, but he's got to be very careful. We see a lot of Mutalisk about to hatch. There are those Mutalisk from Idra uncharacteristically misrallied, but Idra repairs that right away. MMA continuing to produce. Looks like a very anti-Muta focused army, already getting stim done combat shield en route, and many Marines popping out.
Yeah, these Mutas are going to have to do some poking and prodding, seeing if he can get some damage done against MMA here, or just contain him within his own base. He'll also see that third command center as well if he manages to make it inside his opponent's base. Going to go ahead and take out this spotting supply depot. 1 Viking that is out is going to try to just pot shot some of these mutas, but they're going to let that one burn down. Now, the third did go down for Idra, and he is just working on a lot of upgrades, that +2 melee attack, that +1 flyer attack, and we see a few banelings being morphed right now. And one thing that we haven't seen Idra get yet at all is that Overlord speed, which is usually something that you see the moment that lair pops, but he hasn't gone that way, probably meaning that he'll either reserve that for a later time, wanted to get those mutas out right away, get his muta numbers up so that he could start to sustain those and see if he can do some poking damage against MMA.
Mutalisk now continuing to maneuver around, find some hole that they can exploit. This is the weak spot in a Terran defense because Terran cannot see above this cliff. This missile turret effectively has 3 range, so MMA is going to leave those Marines at the back to try to get a little bit of extra defense. Ooh, treading a little bit close, does not lose any Mutalisks, but does manage to pick off a single Marine, takes a good bit of damage. Idra being very responsible about joining these bases together with creep. And how will Idra transition into the mid game? He has a lot of money, should get an extra macro hatchery or just try to spend it somehow. And that pesky Banshee showing up. Will it kill another queen? And no!
Oh my gosh. 2 hit points. The queen stays alive. She's going to need some gauze bandages, but she'll be okay. The muta's going to move back out. We have 4 more in production, a few more lings going out. So now a round of units, as the last round we saw was a concentration of drones. The +1 melee attack is going to be finishing up soon. And well, we don't have a macro hatch, or we could. It is going to go down at the gold. He's cleared out those rocks. And so far, the mutas have done their job, kept MMA inside his base. The concentration of units is getting higher. We do see a medevac moving out, and it will get spotted by this Overlord, and it is about to go down from the Viking. And he does, but he spots it just before he meets his demise.
And another medevac up in the Northlands. Oh, 3 kills for Idra. He is feeling great. He is controlling the center Xel'Naga Watchtower. Should likely begin trying to kill off these other destructible rocks to do a little bit more spotting. SCV down at the south, medevac in the bottom left as well, beginning to swing around. Gold expansion getting close to done for Idra, but now we're seeing MMA move out, take out these destructible debris, and see, this is the problem I was worried about. This is such a late 3rd expansion for MMA, considering how early he got that orbital command. He's going to have to send it to a vulnerable gold base, but we are seeing now the Mutalisk spot this medevac. Does Idra see it in time to respond? He's moving the Mutalisks back, continuing to add more mutas on as well. MMA advancing forward, has a great Marine count, 53.
Yeah, and where did that medevac go? I'm not sure. He's taken out the...
Oh no! Oh my goodness, MMA! Oh! Marcus, that is also not a good use of a 3rd command center.
No, it is not. No, it is not. Also, the medevac is about to get spotted. It is going to go down. He'll take out the Marines. No, he'll wait for the higher concentration of mutas. They are making their way over. He's going to try to engage this, and there are a lot of mutas out on the field right now. Another medevac will go down, and will MMA ultimately be defeating himself here, as that will put him behind. He needed that. A lot of banelings being morphed right now. The muta count is very high. Idra has not lost, I do not even believe, a single muta in all this. And, well, gosh, MMA moving forward, but Idra looks incredibly prepared for this.
Another drop by MMA up at that expansion, trying to do a little bit of damage, and now Idra's rolling in. Look at the Mutalisk count. Banelings getting absolutely obliterated by these tanks, but the Mutalisk count is just a little bit too high. Idra now streaming forward with Zerglings, Mutas, everything is overrunning the scores by MMA. Wait, what?
What? The crowd. Look at the crowd. Look at DJ. His hand. Watch his hand. And then the look up.
Did Idra just leave another 1 game?
Classic. So classic.
I'm loading up the replay.
Okay, that was a classic. That's what this is for. So a little bit of context there. So Idra did not know that MMA killed his own command center. He went back and said this later when people talked to him. He had no idea MMA killed his own command center, so he assumed, based on all the additional income from that gold base, that MMA would have 1 billion more Marines reinforcing, and Idra left. So that's what happened there. Idra versus MMA, definitely a classic. I feel like a lot of people are going to be voting for that one to move on, but Coming up next, guys. Oh, I should update you guys on what ended up happening. So Idra MMA. MMA ended up winning the series 2-0 and going on to win the 2011 MLG championship there at Columbus. Idra would end up finishing in 4th place. So MMA got 1st place. Idra got 4th place in that tournament. That was a lot of fun. Coming up next, guys, we got a match from the 2013 MLG Spring Championship. It happened not too long ago. It's Cats versus Dragon. Stay tuned.